So I'm recording, and I will have Google Meets off to the side. When you come in, if you're going to do it synchronously, you got to make sure that you keep your camera off at all times, because I don't want to video anybody for security reasons. You need to keep your microphone off unless you want to say something. You don't have to type stuff in. You can just say stuff, you know what I mean? But when you come into the class, always shut off your camera and your microphone. So if you wanted to join Google Meets while the class is going on synchronously, here's the link right here for you to join. We're going to go under classwork. We're going to take a look at the syllabus. If you're in presentation mode, I can actually just click on the box and it will bring me, and then there's a little home at the bottom to bring you back to the very beginning of the slides. So starting on teacher information, my name is Mrs. Hall, and my email address is right here, mhall@rsu73.com. I do check my email during the day, not during instructional time, and then there's the school number with the extension. I just wanted to say that there was a lot of work that went into us being able to come back to school. I'm really honored and proud to actually be a part of this district. I've talked to teachers in other districts and other states, and Jay and Livermore, really, they're ahead of the curve on everything. It's amazing. I was really kind of astounded that a place in rural Maine would be far ahead other areas. And so I just want to give a shout out to those teachers that worked all summer long. You should ask your other teachers if they worked on any committees this summer, and just give them a thank you, because, you know, they could have been at the beach, they could have been relaxing. They weren't getting paid for it most of the time. There was a couple of times when they could get paid, but for the majority of the entire summer, they weren't getting paid. So if you have any teachers, you should just ask them and say, hey, thank you. I appreciate the hard work that you did this summer. Classroom expectations are pretty much the same of what you've always seen. I'm going to let you read this page right here. I'm just going to highlight a couple of things. 1, bring all your supplies to class. Number 6, I just want you to give your best effort. Everybody is different. What we bring to the table is all different. Math may not be your strong suit. Maybe it is English. Maybe it is history. Maybe it is something else. But whatever it is, I'm just asking that you bring your best effort to this classroom. On Fridays, number 7 is a big one. That's why it's underlined. On Friday, teachers will check the work for asynchronous as well as in-class work and enter grades by the close of the school day. A grade of 0 means that a student was absent. The absence cannot be changed, but the grade can be changed. This is how we're trying to keep track of attendance. So you are supposed to show up to pre-calculus twice a week. One time, if you're on the hybrid model, one time will be in class, and the other time will be remotely. So you will have 2 assignments every week in pre-calculus. If you want to get credit for, like, say today, the cohort A is here in class, then that means on Friday, cohort A would be remotely. If you want an attendance grade for Friday, you have to show up and do whatever that is that's being done on Friday to be able to say that you are attending class. Classroom instruction is mostly synchronous, asynchronous, and a flipped classroom. Synchronous would be that right now you're online in Google Meet and you are going along with the instruction that I'm doing right now and you're participating in class. If you did that and you were here and participating, I could also put that you were here virtually. So I don't have to wait just until Friday. If you show up synchronously and you're doing the things that we're doing, I can say that you are in attendance. If for some reason that you couldn't be here when the class is being scheduled, that would be asynchronous. That means that you are going to go into Google Classroom and you're going to look for the assignments, you're going to do the assignments, and I am trying very hard to make sure that I video record everything so that you can see exactly what's being done in class. And the flipped classroom I'm going to talk about on the next page. I have been using a flipped classroom since 2017. This is modeled more after a college class. For a college class, you do lower levels of thinking for homework outside of the class. And then when you come to class, you actually apply those concepts. Then when you come to class, you already have an idea of what that's going to be about, and we'll do an activity based on the homework assignment. And students will be able to engage in higher levels of thinking with their peers and the teacher being present. And I'm going to make sure that we always follow the safe social distancing protocols set by the district. I'm going to try very hard to make sure that I have Google Meet open during the class time. That way, if a student wants to participate in an activity with the class, they can choose to do so. I am choosing to have a flipped synchronous classroom of instruction. I will be recording my instructions so that asynchronous students may complete the assignment as well. The synchronous method of instruction is subject to change if it interferes with my instruction in a way that I could not foresee. If you need extra help, we can do that by phone or Google Meet. You just need to make an appointment Monday through Thursday. Fridays are primarily for cohort C remote students, but cohorts A and B can request help, and we can try to fit you in at that time. Students that are on campus for the hybrid A or B model can come and see me for my free periods or my prep periods. I am free on green 1 and I'm free on green and black 4. So if you're in school for period 1 and 4 and you want to come in and get some extra help, by all means, come on in and get some extra help. Or if you're at home and you're not in school, we can still do that through Google Meet at the same time. You're going to want to have some supplies for your interactive notebook, your notebook. I prefer to have tape just to put it in there real quickly instead of the glue stick. You're going to need scissors because my plan is to give you packets of papers once for the entire chapter so that if we do go remote, you will always have them to be able to cut out. Otherwise, you're going to have to write everything in by hand. So either tape a couple corners of your papers in or write the whole thing by hand. And then you're going to want to have something to keep your supplies in. I like this one right here because it has a 3-ring binder that you can keep right in your ring binder, your supplies for all your classes, not just math. And now we're going to get started with signing you up for some of the digital platforms. Your textbook, you're not going to go to the first one. This is for Algebra 1 and 2. Your textbook I have, and I will be putting it into Google Classroom by chapters. So you don't need to worry about the textbook. You are going to go to Khan Academy down on D. Click on Khan Academy. When you go to sign in, yes, it says join 2021 Precalculus. That is the button that you will push. You're going to have to put in and sign up with your Google School account. Everything that we do, you need to sign up with your Google account. It's going to ask you some questions, so just answer those questions and get signed in. Next would be on the next screen, slide 16, you have Ed Puzzle. Go ahead down to the Precalculus. Sign in using your school Gmail account. The next one would be to go to Flipgrid and go down to Precalculus and sign into Flipgrid. Keep those tabs open if you have them open. We're going to take those and put them into a website for all your resources. And you're going to go to sites, sites.google.com, sites, sites.google.com. And Emma, you have a website. We created one in Connections. It looks like Google Docs where you can click on a blank one. That's what you're going to do. Click a blank one. This is a website that you're creating to keep all of your resources from math, from English, from any place, that it's all in one organized area. You go to the top right here and you name your website. This is the only thing that you can't change on this website. You can change everything else, but you can't change the name of it. And so you want to pick something that reflects you. Please don't use your first and last name. You can use your first name with something else or your last name with something else, but don't use them together. Some people like to use like Hall 77, their football number, or one person chose Mountaineer 16. So anything that reflects who you are. Precalculus 2020. When you're done getting your site name, you're going to come over here to Publish, and you're going to hit Publish. And you can see that it has sites.google.com/rsu73.com /precalculus 2020. Okay, let's see what it says right here. For freshmen and sophomores, I usually leave it, but let's see if we can change it to not just anybody at RSU 73. Maybe we want to be able to send these out. Can we change it to other people? We can. Links, change. Click on Publish Site RSU 73. So what you can do is you can make this public so that you can give it to others. If you want to give a link to a college, you want to give a link to a job, juniors and seniors, I don't mind that you do that. I would put it on public. That way I can give the link to anybody. and then click done. And now it says, who can view my site? Anyone. Anyone can view my site. And hit publish. The next thing that I need you to do is go up to where the person is with the plus sign. And I need you to add me as a collaborator behind the scenes. Punch in M Hall and you'll see my name come up with a flag. When you have my name in the box, click done. Okay, if I see anything inappropriate on the sites, then tech will just shut you down. All right, let's get started. Over here, I want you to go to your themes. Click on themes. This is really just about the color scheme of it. So go down and click on each one of these to see what kind of color schemes that they offer. Those are more earthy colors, diplomat, some darker colors, vision has some lighter pastel colors, level has even lighter pastel colors, impression has some basic colors. I think I'll try this one this time with the maroon, maybe not, green. Guess I'll go with that one. Once you figure out what your color scheme is, click on fonts. They give you 3 choices of font. They're different for every single one of them. I'm going to go next to the arrow right here. This is a new thing that they added in here and I don't like it. Publish settings. And I'm going to uncheck this box right here. When I publish, I just want it to publish. I don't want to see what I'm publishing. I already know. And then hit save. That way when I hit publish again, it doesn't do what it just did. It just published, boom, you're done. You can click on this symbol right here, the preview symbol. That's a laptop and a cell phone. If you click on that, you can see what other people see on your website. How do they see it? Here's what it looks like from a laptop. If I come down here, I can click on tablet. That's how somebody sees it on a tablet and a cell phone. And then you just X out of it here to go back behind the scenes. I'm going to go into my pages. Let's go to pages. And we're going to create our first page. We're going to create mathematics. Click done. And now I'm going to click the plus sign again. And I'm going to put Precalculus. And I'm going to click done. And then I'm going to take that Precalculus page and I'm going to drop it on top of mathematics so that it nestles under it. Now, if I look at the top, all my stuff is at the top. There it is, Precalculus. I like to have my stuff on the side. So I'm going to go to settings. You get to choose. Do you want it on top or do you want your headings to all be on the side? It's up to you how you choose to do it. I like mine on the side where all my topics are. And then you can, I'm going to close mathematics. I'm going to create a new page called language. And notice that language is nestled underneath mathematics. I don't want it under there, so I just click on it and I drag it above or below, and it comes outside. I'm going to close that arrow. I'm going to create a second page that says English. Your English 11 or English 12, whatever you are, whatever English class you're taking this year. Click done. And again, you can drop that English class into the language category. And you can do the same for all your other classes, whatever it is that you're taking. Maybe you're taking extracurricular. Maybe you're doing extracurricular activities. You can create a page for that. And again, I don't want it under English. I'm just going to take it out and drag it down to the bottom. Maybe you are a sports person. You can have a sports page. Maybe specifically you play softball. Maybe you play basketball, whatever it is that you play. You can have a page for each one of those. You can put your pictures on them. And again, all of this can be customized. We can change the background. I'm not going to go into that today. That'll be next class. So all I got to do is click on it and drag it out. Because I have the projector on, it doesn't look like I've dragged it out enough, but I have. I am looking at your presentation on these. So if you have something that's all messed up, things aren't capitalized, that just tells me that you didn't put much care into your website. I'm going to hit publish. All right, I'm going to stay on the Precalculus page now. Over here, the third column, we did themes. Pages is where it usually is. Insert. You have a text box that you can insert. I can insert images. I can embed URLs, and I can upload from my drive. Well, I can also come over here on the page and double click, and those 4 things will come up there as well. That's usually how I embed stuff, just by double clicking and then choosing which one I want. Let's go to Khan Academy and go to the main page of your Khan Academy. Just click at the top where it says Khan Academy to make sure you're on your home page. You're going to copy the URL, Control C, and we're going to go over to the website and double click. And I'm going to embed a URL. So we're going to use the yellow one on the left, Control V, paste it in there, insert. This looks horrible on the website to have all of this definition about what the website is. So I'm going to click on the settings wheel and I'm going to shut off show description. Shut it off. Sometimes I shut these other ones off. It just depends on how it's embedding on the website. Say done. I'm going to make this box a little smaller because if I looked at the preview, that would be a huge box. I am going to embed Edpuzzle and click and copy the URL again. Copy, go back to the website, double click, embed the URL. Again, I'm going to go into settings and shut off the description. Make this a little smaller. Publish. It's good to hit that every now and then. And then I'm also going to Flipgrid, copy the URL, double click on my website and paste in the URL. Same thing. So I'll come down here. So you can take it and click on it. Notice the dotted line that's there. I can come down below that and start another whole section, or I can connect it under one that's already there. But I actually like to, I'm going to double click on that to separate it and bring it down to another section. Another thing that you can do, I don't like how either one of those look. What I can actually do is I can double click, put a text box in here, and I'm going to link it myself. Here's the link. If I click link, I can insert that, apply. Now I actually have a link right here that I can use for Flipgrid. All right, that takes care of all of the things that we've done. Let's go back to Google Classroom and see what I have in there. Okay, let's look. Under resources, we have the syllabus, and then I've started your Precalculus book. If you click on that, you can see there's a table of contents for the entire book. The first section that we're working out of is called Prerequisites. It's just brushing up on some algebra. And here are the sections. The first section we're going to be starting on is P1, real numbers. So in here you have examples that you're going to see that we're going to put in the notes. And at the end of this section are the questions that you will be answering, the exercises. I have the first section done. Here on this paper, you see that it's a half a page and a half a page. These are the notes. The notes are coming directly from this book right here. If you look The first part is about real numbers. Well, here is a chart that's about real numbers. You need to fill in what are natural numbers, what are whole numbers, what are integers. You need to fill those in the chart and give yourself some examples. If I go down here, I have this chart right here about bounded intervals of real numbers. Here's the chart right here. So either you take the guided notes that I give you, cut them in half, put them into your composition notebook, or you're going to have to write them all yourself. Either way, these notes have got to get into a notebook. The easiest way, cut it in half, tape the corners of it into a book, and then you can fill in the other parts that are in here. One other thing that we want to do is go to your waffle or your 9 boxes and click on that. We need to get you signed up for Cami. Some of you already have Cami because you've worked with me, but you're going to go to the waffle, scroll all the way down to the bottom until you see the big K. You're going to click on that, and it's going to ask you some questions. I'm already signed up on it. This is not what it's going to look like. You need to sign in with your Gmail account. It's going to ask to access your Drive in Gmail account. So go ahead and get signed up for Cami. So we'll go back to the Precalculus book, Prerequisites. Open it with Cami. So you click on Open With, and you say, I want to open this with Cami. There were only 6 teachers in the spring using Cami. Now it says there's 34 teachers using Cami, so you could be seeing this in other classes as well. What I want to do is scroll down to the homework section. I have a text box. I could answer these questions in text box form. List the positive integers between -3 and 4. If I double click, a text box comes up. Emma, does yours say make a copy? Can you click the text box and then double click next to number 1? So it should always ask you to make a copy. That way we're not writing on the same one. List the positive integers. What are the positive integers between -3 and 7? 0 is neither. So the first positive integer would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 2 says list the integers between -3 and 7. Now they just want the integers. I could use the draw tool. Draw. Pick my color. What size do I want my line to be? I'm going to say 1. List the integers between -3 and 7. And so you could write them. Sometimes this comes in handy for graphing. Now it's not asking about positive or negative. It just wants to know the integers. This would be ideal for somebody who has a stylus. Would come out a little bit neater. And so on. So I just wanted to give you a little intro into using Cami. So today is Wednesday. I will see you guys on Friday.